Even though it's a weekend, the Switch 2 news train doesn't slow down for anyone, and we got a few tidbits I want to go over with all of you today. Starting off with a new video from Nintendo today that shows off how the album works on Nintendo Switch 2. And shocker, it looks extremely similar to the menu on Switch 1. However, it has a generally cleaner interface with all the options being consolidated to the left tab right above me, which is nice. And that includes some new features that weren't there on the original Nintendo Switch. The first up, we have the Quick Actions tab, which we don't fully know what that entails, but based on the checkmark icon, I have a feeling this is where they're hiding at least the option to multi-select multiple pictures or video, and then either delete them en masse or maybe share them in some way. But yeah, that's what I'm guessing that is, but there could be more to it. Next, though, is the new filter option. Actually, I say new, it's not really new, but it is on the left tab now. And in this case, it gives you access to the same filters as before, allowing you to filter the album by screenshots, videos, which are on your system memory, micro SD card. But there is a new option here, being also be able to sort it by the user profile, as in who took these videos or screenshots, which is really cool. You couldn't do that before. Everything was just merged together. I'm still not quite sure why you just don't launch the app with whatever profile you want and see only that profile's media, but in any case, this is nice to have. You can also sort it by game as well, much as you could on Switch 1, like Mario World 1, or like Mario Kart here, Mario Wonder, Captain Toad, whatever they have here. Unfortunately, beyond that, we don't know what the other two icons are, but I'm guessing the arrow one probably sorts your videos and media by most recent or oldest, based on the, two corresponding arrows. And then there's a gear there for settings, which wasn't on the original Switch either at all. So I don't know what settings there could be here. Maybe you can change video settings, because one downside to this is we can see every video listed here is 30 seconds, just like on Switch 1. So I'm really hoping that gear is our one little chance at there being some greater ability here to either change the quality of videos, maybe up to 4K, maybe they already are 4K by default, we don't know, or change the length of them, the default length. So I'm hoping, please let us take more than 30-second videos, because 30 seconds is just often too short. In any case, let's move on to the next thing, being it's actually a video related one you could probably capture in that time, almost in that time span. Actually, I don't think it would actually fit. No, this video is too long, but this is another video from Nintendo today, actually yesterday, of Mario Kart World. And I just want to talk about this clip in particular because I love it so much. In which we can see a Pianta take on one of the P-Switch challenges, racing across an ocean and dodging all the enemies along the way. And you're gonna see what I'm talking about here in a sec. First off, I love how the water splatters on screen. We've seen that before, but on the camera lens, it's a neat touch. But one of my favorite things coming up here is, look at these waves! Look at the height of those waves being created by those cloud enemies. I forget their name, I apologize. But I love that. It feels so dynamic, so fun. It really reminds me of Wave Race Blue Storm, which is really exciting. One of my favorite racers of all time, being Wave Race Blue Storm on the GameCube, which will hopefully come to NSO eventually. And yeah, this is probably actually one of the more in-depth challenges we've seen in the game. So, not a whole lot more I want to talk about that, even though I hope there's still a much greater variety to P-Switch challenges rather than just making it to the end gate in time, which seems to be the most we've seen of them so far. But yeah, I still loved the look of that ocean and those waves. I really hope we see a lot of dynamic elements like that in the actual water-based courses. Love that. So I'll link to that in the description below if you want to watch it for yourself. The final thing I want to touch on is how a new trailer came out for Welcome Tour. Everyone's favorite game coming into Switch 2, but it actually does show off a lot more. Now, unfortunately, the trailer is only in Japanese, so I'll link to it in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. But it talks about how there are 14 tech demos in the game, along with 20 different mini-games, which I think is more than we knew about. I don't know that fully justifies a $10 price point, especially with them literally being tech demos in most cases, or at least 14 of those cases. But you can get a better look at what is going on here. I'm just going to page through this real quick. We can see a better look at the resolution, showing 720p to 4K when zoomed in, which is nice. But again, this probably shouldn't be something you have to pay for. This feels like something that should just come with the Switch 2 as a demo by itself. In any case, there you go. If you want to get a better look at what might be in store for you for that $10, there you can. So I'll link to the full thing in the description below. There is one cool moment where they're, oh look, I do like this part where they're showing off the ancient mouse technology that Nintendo had experimented with before the Switch 2, so I appreciate that nod to their heritage. We also see them use a motorcycle at one point. Here's some of the minigames. Let me see if I can get a better look at these. Well, you saw a motorcycle right there. You can ride it, you can drive a car at some point using the mouse to steer, which is like also a minigame in Mario Party Jamboree, basically. Except, worse here, because these don't look as fun. I don't know. This whole thing's weird. This whole game's existence is weird to me. And I don't fully quite understand it, but yeah, there's a fair amount going on in that game. Game, in quotes, if you do pick it up. I just don't know if it's really, worth it by itself. In any case, everyone, there you go. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later for more Switch 2 news and everything else. Bye!